I'd like to make a short announcement. Well, two. Uh, everybody that's here is on my mailing list. I have a MailChimp mailing list. And if you don't happen to get the invitation, check your spam folder, check your junk mail, it might wind up there. Sometimes computers do that. The email does that. And if it's not there, then just send me an email and I'll send you a separate invitation. But everybody should be on that mailing list, and it should work for everybody. And sometimes it doesn't, so just let's do it that way. Second thing is that there'll be no meditation class tomorrow evening. I have to have another treatment for this eye of mine, and it's impossible to teach the class after I have that. But there will be a class on Wednesday, and hopefully people will attend. So please, everyone, try and work really deeply inside. We'll have a meditation class, and then if anyone has any questions they would like to ask, I will be happy to try and answer them. Muted, everyone, and if anyone has a question, I'll be happy to try and answer it.
Hi, Stuart.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, in the context of what we do, how do you prepare before you go to sleep?
Well, look, I listen to a lot of music now. Last night I was listening to Gregorian chants, which are very soothing and really relax the mind. They're wonderful chants that were probably from the 12th century. For God. I listen to Pergolesi's Stabat Mater, sometimes to Eric Satie's piano music. And all of this stuff is just a way of relaxing myself and letting myself fall into a deep sleep. Read a little bit, sometimes meditate. But I've learned about these things and I use them in my life. I mean, I'm telling you that this YouTube is staggering, and the collection of music that's on YouTube is beyond all human comprehension, and it's free. You can just go there and get it, and if you know how to choose, you skip all the commercials and everything else that they, try to get you with. But that's what I do. I listen to my breathing. I sometimes so hum. And it seems to work. And sometimes I sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's every night it's different. But I never wake up without any energy. There's always that force of energy that flows through my body, my mind, and that's from years and years and years of doing this meditation practice, having built a chakra system that is open all the time to receive God's energy. I mean, if you want, you can go on YouTube and listen to 12 hours of Gregorian chants if you want to do that. It'll relax you, I promise you. It's very beautiful, singing to God. Not necessary. I don't usually listen to that one. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
First, I just want to say that I used to dance to Gregorian chants as a teenager, so that warmed my heart. Thank you for sharing that. And can you speak to patience? I know you spoke about being patient, but could you just speak a little bit too about being patient or patience in general?
Wendy, if you just think about it, what choice do you have? You understand? what we are dealing with in trying to grow is energy that is infinite in the universe. Each and every one of our systems is only big enough to take in so much. So we need to have patience, and we need to not only just have patience, but in doing the inner work with patience, it teaches us how to grow step by step by step by step. And patience is one of the keys, just simply saying, I cannot absorb right now infinite energy in the universe. I've been working at this a lot longer than all of you, and I recognize that. And you have to recognize what your limitations are and then have patience with yourself. But not just say, oh, I'm going to be patient and it'll come. I will be patient and I will work on myself. And I will take this a step at a time. And that's a major part of growing, of learning, of really developing consciousness in yourself that enables you to truly have a spiritual life. So I think that this is an important thing. I mean, most people they want everything in 2 weeks. I remember when I built that house in Texas, every time I went up to them, well, we'll be finished in 3 weeks. It took 8 months from the day they told me we would be finished. And it taught me patience. Everything in its time, in its cycle, when it needs to be completed. And then you complete it in a 5-star way, in a very good way. And you can move on in your life to the next thing that requires patience, and the next thing that requires patience. And I think, to me, that is one of the keys to having a spiritual life. Recognizing your limitations, having patience with yourself, but doing the work, working on yourself every day. And then you look back and you say, where have I come from? And that really is a major measure of one's growth. Where have I come from? What was I like 2 years ago? What was I like 6 months ago? How has my life changed? What kind of growth has taken place inside me? And that'll give you patience, because then you realize, okay, I got to take this a step at a time. And then the growth really, it becomes, well, for a better word, it solidifies. It becomes permanent inside you, And it's not just something like people that, one of the things that used to drive me crazy is people always telling me about all the retreats they do. They go to this thing and that thing and that thing. And you look in their eyes and it's like there was vacancy in their eyes. Nothing was permanent. It's just bouncing from thing to thing to thing. Instead of working on something till you master it. And then letting it take you to the next level and the next level and the next level.
Stuart.
It requires patience. And patience is a real sign of maturity. Impatience. Little kids stamping their foot, they want it now, And we grow up that way. We're adults and we're still emotionally 7 years old. Wanting to, it's got to be now. Well, now is what it is. And each moment is another now. And we patiently take these things moment by moment by moment and grow with them. How else do you master a craft? I remember once going to a concert at Carnegie Hall. I think it was Horowitz was playing the piano, and he went with one finger, boom, on one note, and it filled the entire concert hall. And I said, well, how the hell does he do that? And I thought, yeah, that's 10 hours a day of practice for the last 30 years. That's how he does it. Being in the whole concert hall filled up with music. A master. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Oh, another piece of music I could recommend to go to sleep that really is incredible. I mean, it's Chopin's Nocturnes. They are just gorgeous. They will just relax you. You'll go right to, I'm telling you, you're really beautiful. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Thanks for the musical suggestions.
You're
What
welcome.
Hmm?
You're welcome.
Capella Romana is a really good one for the.
Well, let's not go
Yeah,
into
no,
this.
I'm not going to go into it. So
What's your question?
my question is that I'm still grappling with being such a dilettante. I'm so enthusiastic about so many things, and I'm trying to be mature about it and let go. I'm working with how do I let go of these things
Listen,
that I have to let go of?
if you let me answer the question, I will try to, why are you a dilettante? Because you really enjoy lots of things and you have a desire to really attain many things. That's not a dilettante. I mean, without that desire, without that need inside yourself, you become a dullard, There's nothing inside that truly reaches out and tries to attain, especially beautiful things and things that are spiritual and of a higher nature. Then you have to recognize that you can't consume, all these things at once. It's gluttony. It's impossible. So you got to do them one at a time. And then you just leave yourself alone and you stop beating yourself up because you have interest in a lot of different areas of life and they really help you, inspire you in your day-to-day life. The important thing is the realization, I cannot consume all of this at once. I mean, I've told you that story many times about when I used to teach in that halfway house in Fort Worth, Texas, with these juvenile delinquent kids. And I was talking to them and they were, very impatient, these kids, and, they had a lot of really intense energy. And I said to them, I'll never forget, I said, if you were in the middle of a desert and you were starving to death and you smelled a hamburger about a mile away, there's nothing that would keep you from getting to that hamburger and eating it. And it's the same thing I said, when you want a spiritual life, you have to overcome all the resistance. So one kid raises his hand, I'll never forget this kid as long as I live. And he said, yeah, but if you ate the hamburger at once, you would probably die on the spot. If you were starving, never forget that kid. And he's right. I looked at him, I started to laugh and I said, yes, you're right. You can't consume everything at once, but you can open and receive things at a time. You can't consume the cosmos in one gulp, but you can slowly build a system that allows you to take in more and more of spiritual energy, more and more of the arts, more and more of life, more and more of whatever interests you in this life. Technology, science, whatever it is. But to have, no desire to do these things, your whole system dies inside. There's got to be some kind of thing that inspires us, to work every day. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you.
Does somebody have a question? Okay, as I said earlier, there will be no class tomorrow. There will be a class this coming Wednesday. I have to have this procedure done and I won't be able to teach a class tomorrow. So God bless you all. Thank you for being here, for doing this, and for allowing me to share whatever I've learned in my life with all of you and take it home. Take it deep inside, let it work for you. And I'm very grateful we can do this. I really am. This is just a blessing to me, and it's a miracle that in the midst of this COVID thing, we sitting here on Zoom, connecting with people all over the Western Hemisphere here. It's really something extraordinary. So thank you. God bless you all, and I will see you all hopefully on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Stuart. Love you.
Stuart.
Go.
Thank